On the news tonight, President Bola Tinubu advised APC candidates in the just concluded Osun State governorship election Bola Oyebamiji to accept the outcome of the election. Federal government declares Tuesday, August 25th, public holiday to mark Eid al-Maulud. Good evening and welcome to the highlights of tonight's stories. I am Fatima Hassan. Thank you for joining us tonight. President Bola Tinubu has advised the APC candidates in the just concluded Osun State governorship election, Bola Oyebamiji, to accept the outcome of the election as part of democratic principles. Bola Oyebamiji visited President Bola Tinubu in the State House this Friday, their first meeting after the election. The president commended the candidates' effort during the electionary period. President Tinubu, who met with Governor Ademola Adeleke, winner of the election a day earlier, demanded peace in the state. The APC candidate who spoke to State House correspondents after his private meeting with the president also committed himself to peace post-election.
Father, the President, Federal Republic of Nigeria. And what Baba said was that the most important thing is to run every election with a peaceful mind. It is important for us that we Nigerians have to know that government is about people, and it's about people, and it's about people. And because it's about people, it is important that we need to be peaceful. And I want to appeal to our people in Osun that they need to be peaceful. For now, the APC is still examining the books, and by the time we spread our sheet, we'll be able to get back to the public, at least what our own opinion and what decisions we want to take. But the take-home is that they should be calm. They should be calm, and I want to advise the governor too that it's important for him to talk to his people. Violence is against our people. It's not too good, and he needs to talk to them so that each and every one of us can be on the same page. I thank you.
The federal government has declared Tuesday, 25th August 2026, a public holiday to mark this year's Eid al-Maulud, commemorating the birth of the Holy Prophet Muhammad. In a statement, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Interior, Magdalene Ajani, says the Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, announced the declaration on behalf of the federal government. The minister urged Nigerians to reflect on the virtues of compassion, humility, and service, while using the occasion to pray for peace and national unity. Tunji-Ojo also calls on citizens to celebrate with restraint and mutual respect, assuring that the federal government remains committed to safeguarding lives and property and maintaining peace across the country. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) will conduct a nationwide mock accreditation exercise in November 2026 as part of measures to test its readiness for the 2027 general elections. Chairman of the Commission, Professor Josh Amupiton, stated this when he received the charge d'affaires of the Canadian High Commission to Nigeria, David Sproul, and other officials of the Commission on a courtesy visit to the INEC headquarters. He noted that the mock accreditation will subject the bimodal voter accreditation system, BVAS, and other electoral equipment to a rigorous field test ahead of the general elections. He said the exercise was designed to identify and address possible operational challenges before the elections, stressing that the Commission was determined to build on the lessons learned from recent off-cycle elections. Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Didi Esther Wilson-Jack, has commended the media for its fair, balanced and objective coverage of the activities, policies, programs and reform initiatives of the Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation in the last 2 years, which have helped Nigerians to see, understand and appreciate the transformation taking place across the service. Aman Jabane reports that the commendation came during a special interaction with media chiefs. Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. In a related development, as political activities gradually gather momentum ahead of the 2027 general elections, the Ogun State Police Command has advised youth to shun thuggery, violence, and other acts capable of undermining the electoral process and disrupting peace in the country. The advice was given during a walkathon in Abeokuta led by the State Commissioner of Police, Bode Ojajuni, as part of activities marking the 2026 International Youth Day. Yemi Dalemo completes the report.
The Commissioner of Police, Ogun State Command, Bode Ojajuni, alongside heads of other security agencies in the state, led the youth on a 3-kilometer walk from the Ogun State Sports Arena, Kuto, through major streets in the metropolis. The youths, carrying placards with messages against electoral violence, sensitized their peers on the need to abide by the rules and shun acts capable of disrupting the electoral process, particularly as the 2027 general elections approach. The program, organized in collaboration with the Nigerian Youth Parliament to commemorate the 2026 International Youth Day, was held under the theme Youth Empowerment for a Sustainable Future, with the campaign message, "My future is greater than political thuggery." Speaking on the objectives of the exercise, the commissioner said it was designed to promote youth empowerment, security, peace building, and responsible participation in the electoral process.
So we have to do a kind of enlightenment, a kind of campaign to sensitize the youths on the need for them to be a good citizen, for them to be more of positive, to be on the positive side of history, for them to be more useful to the country.
At the end of the walk, CP Ojajuni addressed a cross-section of youths, including members of the National Youth Service Corps and various youth associations, on expectations of the Inspector General of Police, Olatunji Disu, from the young Nigerians ahead of the elections.
They should abstain from drugs. They should abstain from bad influence from any of their peer group. They should also engage in positive activities. Also, be part of this movement that is clamoring for a very peaceful and violent-free 2027 general election.
I advised and I warned our students, the student populace of this country, to shy away from thuggery, and we should not allow politicians to use us as students as a thuggery or as tools for election violence.
The participants pledged to reject attempts to use them as agents of destruction during electioneering campaigns, promising instead to promote peace and positive engagement before, during, and after the general elections. In Abeokuta, Yemi Dalemo.
Now to other stories. As Nigeria pushes for more inclusive governance and stronger national security, stakeholders are following on the role of women in leadership and decision-making. The Women Inclusion and National Security Summit 2026 is examining barriers to women's participation and practical ways to increase their representation. Abdul-Jalil Muhammad Bawa reports.
Across Nigeria's political and governance landscape, women continue to face barriers that limit their access to leadership and decision-making positions. The Women Inclusion and National Security Summit 2026, themed Advancing Women's Leadership for Inclusive Governance and Security, brought stakeholders together to examine the challenges and explore pathways for strengthening women's participation in governance and national security.
Women are not merely beneficiaries of development, they are leaders, peace builders, reformers, and indispensable partners in nation building.
The advancement of women in leadership must be understood as part of building a stronger Nigeria.
Beyond political representation, discussions highlighted the critical role women play in conflict prevention, peace building, community engagement, and strengthening security at the grassroots.
Inclusion is a development imperative, a democratic necessity, and a national security strategy.
Stakeholders say Greater inclusion of women in governance and security can broaden perspectives, improve decision-making, and contribute to a more peaceful, inclusive, and secure Nigeria. In Abuja, Abdul Mohammed Bawa, NTA News.
Every year, cholera returns to communities that never actually recovered from its last visit. On Good Morning Nigeria, health experts painted a sobering picture. It's not poverty that spreads cholera. It's untreated water, unwashed vegetables, open defecation, and crowded neighborhoods without basic sanitation. Lydia Sampson reports.
Though cholera is preventable and highly manageable, rural families delay hospital visits until it is almost too late. Urban slums still battle open waste.
It's a waterborne disease, and it is when water is contaminated with fecal matter that contains the bacteria that a person that ingests or drinks that water or eats food that is washed or cooked, not properly cooked with that water, that gets infected. And therefore, if we would stop cholera, then we necessarily have to provide safe drinking water.
We should have as much public toilets as possible. We should have as much refuse and sewage disposal systems as possible so that we provide the basics and then we enforce people to comply with that. And then educating the people over and over, education, re-education, and then also training the healthcare givers in terms of readiness for outbreaks.
Experts urge quick action as watery stool and dehydration demand immediate ORS or a simple mix, half a teaspoon of salt, 6 teaspoons of sugar in clean, boiled or chlorinated water. They are emphatic that cholera is preventable, cholera is manageable, but only if we act fast. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
And that'll be all for this week on our English news. Join us next week for more interesting stories and stay tuned to our Yoruba caster. Have a wonderful weekend.